Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Carrie Manning from Heritage Dental Spa and Salon.
And I'm your host, Lisa Richardson with South Coastal FCA.
And today we are at the beautiful clubhouse here in Hampton Hall, and we're here with the guys from the Greenery. Our first guest is Mr. Lee Edwards. He is the CEO.
Jim Van Dyke joins us next. He's the branch manager with the Hilton Head Commercial Division.
And we also have Mr. Miles Graves. He is also the branch manager. So make sure that you join us for more 843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
(843 TV), where Bluffton comes to speak,
where Spring Island comes to speak,
where Hilton Head Island comes to speak,
where Beaufort comes to speak.
(843 TV),
where communities come to speak.
Welcome to 843 TV. We're here with the Greenery, and our first guest is Mr. Lee. So share a brief overview of how the Greenery got started.
Well, back in the early 70s, my parents moved to Hilton Head looking for a new lifestyle and a different place to live and raise kids. And they were looking for a business to start, and lo and behold, there was a very small landscape company for sale. They had no history in landscaping at all, but they took the plunge, bought this company with about 6 employees and 2 pickup trucks, and they grew it and worked with the folks that were developing Hilton Head, and slowly over time built the company up, hired some really good people, and now we've got offices all up and down the coast in South Carolina and Georgia, and we've got a little over 500 employees now, so it's been a neat ride.
Grown a little bit.
Yeah, that's such a neat story that you have. They had a vision, they had perseverance and determination, and they saw it through to get you where you are today. So that's a great story. Jim, you're new. You're part of the team. Been there a long time. Tell us about your role.
Yeah, I've been with the company for about 19 years, and I'm currently the branch manager for our Hilton Head Island Commercial Division. And like all of our branch managers, I try and provide the leadership and the guidance for our account managers to interact and work with not only our clients and the property managers out there, but also make sure on a day-to-day basis that all of our staff and the employee owners that are there are doing everything they can to provide great landscape services for our clients.
Sure. And your role is key because in a sense you're developing those key relationships with
Absolutely.
staff, with community members, with the community, and that is what it's all about. It's great.
And Miles, what's your role in the company?
Like Jim, I'm also a branch manager. I oversee the operations in what's between the bridges, really. So Bluffton, Oakady, Hardyville, and we also have a separate branch in Sun City that I oversee. And my role is Jim's. What he said about leadership was true. We're kind of the conductor with the orchestra. We're not really doing any of the work. We're just making sure it sounds really
making
pretty.
Making sure the work is done correctly. That's
Exactly.
a very important part.
So it's planning long term, making sure everything's on schedule, and supporting the guys that are doing the work in the field.
Lee, let's get back to you. Share about your purpose statement. There's a specific mission and vision and the why. Tell us all about that.
Well, that's something that we're really big on here. It's one thing to know what you're doing, and our mission statement is to be the best landscape company in the markets we serve. So we're always striving to be the best. We always want to do a great job, and that's what we do. And we want our people to know why we do it. And so our mission statement is enhancing people's lives through beautiful landscaping. And what I mean by that is when a homeowner comes home at the end of the day and he's had a tough day at work and he rolls in the driveway and the first thing he sees is this beautiful landscaping, and he says, "Oh, the Greenery's been here today," and it brings a good feeling over.
Yeah,
and more,
lifts your spirits. And
yeah. Or a family's been crammed in a minivan driving all the way down from Ohio or New Jersey or wherever they are to check into their beachfront house or their hotel, and the first thing they see is that beautiful lush landscaping. And like you said, it relaxes them. It You know, they say, oh, I mean, they've just got a great feeling. Makes them happy. And so what we say is we want to make people happy. That's how we enhance their lives, by providing beautiful landscaping and great service. And it's not just for our clients. We want to enhance our employees' lives too. We're a growing company. We want to provide satisfying, rewarding careers for our employees. That's a real key for us. And also part of what we do, you know, and one of the things we talk about a lot is we're a service business that just happens to do landscaping. We want to provide great service and we want to do great landscaping. You know, not only are we out there cutting the lawns and planting the flowers and trimming the shrubs, we're part of that experience. When somebody's at their hotel or in their yard at their house, we want to smile at them and wave and say good morning and how are you doing? And you know, we really are part of the experience. We want them to enjoy that, you know, not just the beautiful look of their landscape, but we're part of the community.
And you mentioned service with landscape next. I think that's so important because you could have great landscaping, but if your service isn't top notch, then in the long run, you're not going to be able to sustain yourself. And clearly you've done a great job doing that, so that's wonderful. And also, our area is so unique because you do have so many wonderful communities, and it's so neat to see the entrances are beautiful, and you maintain part of the key to our areas.
Well, you know, part of that service, a lot of our guys, when they work in a community, they take pride in that community.
Sure.
And when we get together as a company, sometimes those guys will brag to the other guys in the company. Yeah, I work over at
competition.
Yeah, I work at Hampton Hall, or I work in Sea Pines, or I work in Palmetto Bluff, and they're proud of that. And they say, oh, our property looks better than yours. And,
Sure.
And
fun stuff.
those guys, they really take a lot of pride in that.
Absolutely.
Well, and they should, because people, when new people move here, they're like, you know, that community that always has such pretty flowers, and that's how they'll describe it. It is, some people might not realize that, but it is a huge part of the Low Country.
I think so. It really is important for everybody to take pride in that. And we as a company do, but I mean, I think all of our employees do.
It's a huge job because down here in the Low Country, we green all the time,
Yeah.
all year long.
Well, we've got a whole lot more to share about the greenery, so stay right here. We'll be back with more 843 TV. Welcome back to 843 TV. We're here at Hampton Hall. We're talking with the guys from the Greenery. What a great group of gentlemen you are. Miles, we are here, and the Hampton Hall is considered one of your larger clients, communities. Tell us about the scope of the work that you're doing to maintain this property.
It is. It's definitely a large community here in Bluffton, South Carolina. So a lot of times I'll tell people, if it's green and not on the golf course, we maintain it. So anything from, you know, the first impression you get at the main entrance, coming in the gates.
Which is awesome, by the way.
Oh,
might
thank
I
you.
add.
Thank you.
Everybody comments about that.
My guys do a great job. All the amenity areas, the pools, the tennis courts, and then just all the common grounds, you know, the roadsides that you go by, and all the parks and the medians and things like that. And it's all inclusive. When it comes to, you know, the general cutting of the grass and all that stuff, to the rotations of annual flowers and pine straw and mulch. And all that is the basics of what we do in any community, really. But the trick is for us is really how do you do it without interrupting the life of the residents, work around them so it's not a disturbance, and also just getting it done in a timely fashion. And as we talked about earlier too, it's really important for the guys that work in here. They work 5 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. So they get to know the residents. They say hello in the morning, good morning to everyone. They stop when people are coming by or walking their dogs and let them pass by. So all of that grows within a community like this, and it's part of the whole function of what we do. It's not just landscaping.
So in a sense, the workers are developing a relationship with the community itself,
100%.
which has got to be a great thing for everyone involved. And I, for one, have to add, it is seeing all the different landscape changes over the course of the seasons at so many communities is really fun for all of us that live here to see, oh, the spring flowers are out and what's happening in the fall and so forth. So it's really neat.
We try to do those little things that give that added value back to the landscape, whether it's planting daffodils or little tulips that make somebody so happy to see them, even if it's just for a few weeks here in the low country. But those little things make a big difference.
Sure.
And that's what we try to think about and invest.
So Jim, there must be a lot underway right now in Sea Pines Resort, because anybody that lives here knows the buzz of the Heritage Golf Tournament has already started. So how is the Greenery involved down there?
Well, first of all, in Sea Pines Resorts and all the communities we maintain there, everything has to be done before Heritage.
Of course.
That's the number one.
That's the barometer of time.
That's it. So, our planning really starts immediately after the Heritage of last year for everything that we do for Sea Pines Resorts, and we get a lot of feedback in what worked, what didn't work, and we start planning, and we have to pre-book and pre-order all those geraniums that you see out on the golf course and in the videos and in the TV. That's all custom grown. We try and pick the color so that it all matches and coordinates and it shows up well on TV. But as far as our communities, we start the same kind of process. We talk with them, what do they want to have? We start the floral colors and the designs and the concepts, and we start doing the pre-booking for all of that. And then we have project work. They all want to enhance something. They want to have something improved. So
And it all has to be done before Heritage.
that's the key item.
No pressure.
Yeah.
So we do a great job, and the relationship and the communication is key for all of our clients there.
And it's not just with Sea Pines Resort, who's a really nice client of ours, but lots of different POAs within Sea Pines and other parts of the island, because it's not just Sea Pines who wants it done by Heritage. Everybody does.
Now you mentioned Sea Pines Resort. You're doing some specific work in a particular neighborhood there, Schooner Court.
Jim can probably tell you a lot more about Schooner Court than me.
What's happening at Schooner Court? What's significant about that?
We've had a long-term relationship with Schooner Court, and through the years, not only maintaining the property and making sure that on a day-to-day basis it looks fantastic, but they've gone through renovations, they've changed out their hardscape, they've wanted to change out the way that the entrances look. So we advise them and we work with them on the long-term goals that they want to achieve, and then we implement everything and make sure that we maintain it. We educate them on what's necessary for horticultural means to make it happen. And we just do everything we can to make sure that the client's happy with first the vision and then the results afterwards.
And I love how you say the vision and the results, because it's certainly a process of follow-through. You're always thinking of what is the long-term goal? What is that? And you mentioned hardscapes, which I don't think is something we automatically think of when we think of landscape. We think of flowers and shrubs. So tell us a little bit about the hardscape things that you might work on.
When you think greenery, that word in itself means green stuff. It means life and plants and everything. But we do a lot with hardscapes, where everything from pavers, paver patios, concrete walkways. We also do some arbors, we'll do pergolas, seat walls. We've done a great outdoor kitchen for a few people. We try and, through this vision, try and let people know that if you want a new experience, whether it be an arrival experience to your property and your community, or whether it be an outdoor seating space, an outdoor experience, we can help enhance that. Lighting has just become huge to get the right type of lighting in the right space, both for safety as well as for the experience that you'll have outdoors.
I bet that's a huge part of your all's business from a very long-standing professional point of view, that people don't realize it's the little details like that that absolutely make or break your finished product. It's the little details, it's the pavers, it's the lighting, it's having it in the right spot and not having shadows, it's the full effect. And I think that says amazing things about your all's company, that you've been able to grow exponentially with the amount of growth that this place has experienced since you all have been in business. That's a huge undertaking. I think you guys need a lot more credit for that. Well, we're out of time for this segment, so stay right there. We'll be right back with more 843 TV. right, welcome back. We're here now to talk a little bit about Inverness on Hilton Head Island. It's kind of an older property in need of some attention. So Lee, can you describe this community and how they actually became a client?
Sure, we started working with them probably 7 or 8 years ago, and it's a nice property, but it needed some upgrades. They wanted some improvements, and the first thing we went in and did was a whole lot of rejuvenative pruning and a lot of cleanup, and so they could sort of see more of a blank canvas. And then we worked with them, talked to them about what they wanted to see, what improvements, what changes. We'd made a bunch of suggestions, and we came up with a nice vision that was implemented over several years. And that's one of those places that a lot of people are residents. They live there year-round, and a lot of them are part-time residents, and we need to get input from all of them. And it's one of those ones that has really made a big difference, and it's one that we're really proud of. It looks a whole lot better than it used to. The community's excited about it, the residents are excited about it, and it's something that we're really proud of now.
I'm sure it's gorgeous.
So many properties on the island are a little older, so there's probably a lot of situations where that occurs. So with that neat story, Miles, tell us a little bit about how you might go in and work with some of these communities and the property managers to develop that vision and help them feel like what is best for their environment.
Yeah, well, what is key, obviously, is just good communication. We are the experts when it comes to landscaping, and a lot of times the client may have a vision in their head, but it's up to us to realize that when it comes to the landscape. So figuring out what they want, realizing their vision, but also how to stay on budget for that.
Of course.
A lot of times it's long-term planning. The realization may be that you can't accomplish this in one stage. It may be several years to accomplish it. And where are your dollars best spent immediately for a quick impact, and then to invest it long-term? So it's important to communicate that to the client. Make sure that you can accomplish it within their budget, but tell them how you need to make sure that happens.
So there's a lot of educational process that goes into this as a start. Do you ever have many who say, I really have no idea what to do? You advise me. Do you have a lot of cases like that?
You have a lot of people who say that.
That's what we mean.
It's better that way. Absolutely. We, a lot of our staff, Jim and I included, when we were at school at Clemson, we took design courses. We've continued that through the years. So we're capable of doing that design for our clients, but we also have designers on our staff that do that specifically. So within the Greenery family, we can create a beautiful landscape for anybody, no matter what they're envisioning, how simple or how complex.
And we work with a lot of landscape architecture firms. Those are the ones, the real workhorses when it comes to design. We go to them with our clients, and sometimes they'll come to us and we'll work together on that. But when it comes to the design part of it on a large scale, we love working with landscape architecture firms, and we've got some really good ones in the area here.
Absolutely.
Well, I think every single person here was affected in some way, shape, or form with Hurricane Matthew, and I'm sure that you all have been just as busy as all of the other restoration companies here in town. How did that affect your all's business or your relationships with communities and POAs and getting all that nice and pretty again?
It was a big impact. It was a chance for us to really come together as a company. We brought in people from Savannah, from Charleston, from all over, and it was really tough. It was really hard, but it was also, in a strange sense, kind of fun getting everybody together. Jim's team was just unbelievable what they did. I mean, he can tell you some of the scale of the work that we were doing on Hilton Head. And maybe, Jim, you can elaborate on some of that.
Well, we talk about the process. The whole thing started well before the actual storm hit. Unfortunately and fortunately, we got a little practice with Tropical Storm Hermine, which was about a month beforehand. But I remember being on the phone as I'm heading out of town to evacuate, talking to our property managers and our clients and community managers about our process of coming back in, which started that Monday right afterwards, bringing a whole team, basically a convoy of trucks over the bridges. I think it was 50 plus trucks and 100 plus employees as Lee said, from all different sectors of our company, who all came together to try and make sure that people were safe and that we could clear roads and roadways and get everything ready for everyone to re-enter.
We had some people, some of our employees, they came in from being evacuated and came straight to work. They hadn't even gone home, and we came in, went right to work. Some of them, showed up in work in their flip-flops and shorts, had to go swing by their house, get their work clothes, and get to it. But it was a real team effort. It was something we're really proud of. It was difficult, but it was a really
Rewarding.
good. It was very rewarding experience.
And as we wrap up, Lee, your parents started an incredible project. They had a great vision. It's still going today. Share with us their last thoughts on what you'd like our viewers to communicate and know about the Greenery.
Well, again, earlier I told you about our purpose statement and getting everybody working together, knowing why we do what we do, and then going out and executing it. It's one thing when a client has a vision of what they want. It's a whole nother thing to get that vision realized and to actually go out and accomplish it. And we just continually hammer with our guys. We want to do the best job we can, and we want to provide great customer service.
Sure, absolutely.
Well, I think you all are doing a very good job at that because your all's properties are amazing.
Gentlemen, thank you all for joining us today and sharing the vision and the mission of the Greenery, and we love seeing what you do. And thank you all for joining us today for another episode of 843 TV,
Where communities come to speak.